Hey folks, Jessica here. So today we're in Granblue Fantasy, and I want to do a character spotlight on Kumbhira, Swimsuit Kumbhira. This is her uncap art with Anila. I almost said Watanabe for a second there. It's super, super cute. So I wanted to do a spotlight on her specifically because I just got her. Some context on that in a second. But she's also quite good and also really interesting. Because I wouldn't say she's like a meta definer, unlike some of the characters I've covered lately. But she's more a character that's extremely strong at the specific niche that she fills, which is skill damage, which is a bit interesting also because fire, I don't think, is an element that's typically known for skill damage. So yeah, I wanted to cover her just because she's a bit more of she's an interesting character to talk about. So we'll break down her kit. I'll show you a grid that works well for her, and then we'll go beat some stuff up over her. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. So as I mentioned, I just got Kumbhira, and I actually got her from the Star Premium Draw, the Scam Gacha. Now, if you're not familiar with the Scam Gacha, that's the joke name for the Star Premium Draw. So how this works, if you're not familiar, brief recap. And I'm not endorsing Star Premium Draws. People call it Scam Gacha for a reason. Some people do not like Scam Gacha. But the basic idea is it's a premium draw, so you do have to pay for it. And then you get a 10 pull. Whatever happens, happens with that 10 pull. And then you get a bonus gift. So it might be things like Astroph Anima or Centrums, or it might be really valuable things like Damascus bars, Sunlight Stones, Gold Moons, etc. Now, context there, I have actually gotten 2 Sunstones out of Star Premium draws in the past. I do a lot of Star Premium draws. Usually when they're around, I just go for them. But I have gotten Sunstones, so that is totally possible from this. And then once all that's done, you get a guaranteed SSR from whatever pool that's available. You should really, if you're thinking about doing this, you should really look at the pools that are available and determine for yourself whether it's worth it. It's worth it. It's still RNG. It's so like it's not completely guaranteed which one you get, and that's why some people don't like this. But it can be something nice. And then this one in particular I found interesting because it's one of those ones where you've got several pools you can pick from. So you can either do Fire Dark SSR, Water Earth SSR, or Wind Light SSR. And these are also focused on the swimsuit characters. So I wanted to do Fire Dark because I actually wanted Kumbhira, and I got her. Great. But additionally, yeah, super pumped by this one. But additionally, this pool is particularly valuable because the character you get out of it, they will come with their weapon fully uncapped to 3 stars. That's super exciting. And Kumbhira's weapon, for context, is actually extremely good for a grid you would run with Kumbhira. So 12 Vertex of the Passel. This thing, like, I rolled Kumbhira, I'm like, oh man, Kumbhira's really good, I'm really excited. And then I'm like, I should probably level up her weapon. Do I want to Dama it, though? Because, like, you really want this weapon of her. And then I looked at it, I'm like, wait a second, I forgot. This thing comes at 3 stars. It's already uncapped, I want the Dama it. So I fully uncapped it, and now I'm using it with her, and yeah, super pumped. So what's good about it is its skill is Inferno's Tempering, big boost to Fire Allies skill damage cap, big supplemental boost to skill damage. If you're not familiar with big supplemental boost to skill damage, that's essentially the same effect as the Iwayar sword. The Iwayar sword is people who win skill damage grids usually run 2 of them with characters like Katura, and that sword adds a flat amount of extra damage to each tick of a skill. So multi-hitting skills hit extremely hard. If you want an example, look at my Golden Knight video that I did. My Golden Knight Pride of the Ascendant video. Not the Golden Knight character spotlight, the Pride of the Ascendant one where I actually fight her. Because in that one, Katura is like dropping like 15 million damage nukes because like her nuke is like 24 hits when it's built out. And I'm just looking up real quick. Iwayar's Beak adds, I believe, yeah, it adds 100,000 extra damage to each tick of the nuke, so times 24. And I was running 2 of them, so 200,000 extra damage each nuke times 24. So you see how that works. This is very similar, but I will add an extra caveat. Ivior's Beak uses a skill called Emerald Covenant, which is not boosted by Primal Summon. Kumbhira's weapon is Inferno, which is boosted by Agni, because Agni, the Primal Summon for fire, boosts Inferno. And I don't think that's a very common thing, because the skill damage cap presumably is also boosted by this, which is, again, not that common. I don't know how the math works out. I don't actually know. If someone knows the math on this, let me know. Because presumably the skill damage cap is also boosted by Agni. How much skill damage cap does this give you with double Agni? Because I'm curious how close to the skill damage cap it gets you. That's a weird sentence. But yeah, so that this works great. And then if you get it fully uncapped, then you get the small fire attack boost, Fire's Might. So like overall, a very good weapon if you're in Kumbhira. Anyways, not endorsing Star Premium Draw, but I figured I'd give you some context. Okay, what does she do? Her basic attributes is she is fire, she is draft, she is attack style, she is spear and axe specialty. Her charge attack is majestic border. Yes, border, because her zodiac sign is the boar. I didn't realize that pun until I read it on the wiki just now. So, her charge attack does 450% fire damage to a foe, ends the cooldown on Splashing Brilliance, which is her 2, we'll get to that in a second, and she gains Drain, so she will recover some HP when she hits the enemy. It lasts 3.5 turns. Her 1 is Reckless Abandon. It has a 6-turn cooldown. It's a 400% fire damage nuke. It restores some HP to her. Healing cap's 1500 there. And raises Sunlit Lance stacks by 2. We'll talk about Sunlit Lance in a second when we get to her passives. Her 2 is Splashing Brilliance. That's a 6-turn cooldown, 3-turn duration, and it gives her 5 counters on dodge, and it lasts 3 turns. So why this matters, we'll talk more about when we get to her passives as well. And then her 3, which is a 0-turn cooldown, interesting note, is Glaring Radiance. This is basically a toggle. Gives her the Glaring Radiance buff, and it ends on recast. Glaring Radiance, it increases normal attack damage, increases her charge attack specs, charge bar gain and healing are lowered, and HP is lowered every turn. Duration indefinite. Like I said, it's a toggle. Specific numbers there. She gets 50% normal attack damage up, 100% charge attack damage up, 90% charge attack damage cap up, which is a significant amount of cap up, I should just say. 50% charge bar gain down, which is quite significant hits her charge bar gain, and 50% healing down, and she'll take 30% of max HP as plain damage every turn. That sounds like a lot of damage, but it's capped at 3k, so it's not actually that bad. So let's talk about Sunlit Lance now, her stacking buff, because her passives heavily tie into that. So Sunlit Lance is a stacking buff, and it will count up to 12. It will stack up to 12. When it hits 12 stacks, she will do a 12-hit nuke. It is extremely damaging. That nuke hits really hard. It's also 12 hits. So remember, weapons like 12 Vertex of the Passel, 12 Vertex of the Passel is her weapon, as we talked about earlier, give bonus supplemental damage to a skill, meaning they will give a flat extra amount of damage to each hit of the skill. So multi-hit skills gain a lot from that. So yeah, she works very well with her own weapon, which is nice. But yeah, Reckless Abandon, her 1, will give her 2 stacks. In addition to that, Sunset Memories, her first passive, raise Sunlit Lance level by 1 upon countering. So Splashing Brilliance will give her counters. Therefore, whenever she counters with that, she'll gain another stack. The second part, though, and perhaps even more relevant, is while she has a counter effect, she will gain Guaranteed Triple, love to see it, and 30% bonus fire damage effect. So she'll gain a 30% Echo. Remember, she can give herself 3 turns of counter with her 2, and then her charge attack also resets the cooldown on her 2. So she'll have this up quite often. Then, I'm Just Getting Started is her second passive. Activates Reckless Abandon upon taking turn-based damage. So any damage over time effect will cause this to trigger. So she will do this auto nuke. At the end of every single turn, she takes damage through a recurring damage effect, a DOT, a damage over time. So she'll build Sunlit Lance stacks very consistently if she's got something like that on her. And keep in mind, Glaring Radiance, as we talked about, lowers her HP every turn. So if she's got this activated, it will actually self-trigger I'm just getting started, and she'll auto-nuke every turn and build Sunlit Lance stacks every turn, and then eventually do a giant burst nuke every several turns. In addition to that, she's also restoring HP to herself every turn because of Reckless Abandon, which offsets the damage over time effect. Like, her kit works extremely well together. But yeah, when Sunlit Lance is at 12 or more at the end of turn, 12 hit nuke, 4% fire damage to random foes, damage cap is 400k per hit, and consumes all Sunlit Lance stacks. So you can see how the kit works well together. And then her Masteries are actually pretty good too. They tie into all the stuff she does. She has a skill damage cap up. She has a skill damage. She's got a healing, which remember, Reckless Abandon does heal her every time it goes off. And she has a drain, so her kit plays very well together. So thing to note, I don't know how often this is going to come up, honestly, but if you don't want her Glaring Radiance active for some reason, there's a few ways in Grid to trigger I'm Just Getting Started, her passive nuke, her auto nuke. I guess a reason why you might not want Glaring Radiance active all the time is if you're doing a fight that requires you to build a charge bar consistently, like if you need to build a Fated Chain or something, because it does slow charge bar gain, so I guess that's a thing. But overall, you're probably going to want this up most of the time just because it's a huge damage gain for her. In any case, if you don't want it up, you can use weapons like Fires of Prometheus or the Harp from Rise of the Beast. Both of those will do periodic damage to her, damage every turn to her, which will activate it as well. Note that it will still also activate if she takes 0 damage due to a shield, but won't activate if like the attack's completely nullified by something like a mirror image. These are just some things to keep in mind if you're playing with her, but for the most part, it's going to be pretty consistent, and it's going to activate usually through her 3, I would imagine. But yeah, all that said, let's look at the team, let's look at the grid, and then let's go kill some stuff. Okay, this team is almost entirely built on using very powerful auto-nukers that work very well on full auto. So I'm not going to talk too much about Athena or Christmas Anemone because it's not their character spotlights, but briefly the auto-nuking portion that we care about. And Athena, if you're not familiar, very good character. I would say easily one of the top 5 non-limited characters in the game, especially for harder content. A lot of people look at her kit and assume that she's fully defensive, but she's actually quite good in an offensive sense on full auto. So the part we care about is Tetra Dracum, her nuke. It's a 5-hit nuke, and deals, it inflicts a stackable defense down, and then also burn. But the numbers of hits will increase based on Goddess's Wrath level, and Goddess's Wrath is her stacking buff from her passive. We'll talk about that in a second. But at full stacks, she'll do 10 hits on the nuke. And remember, we want multi-hit nukes, so this becomes very powerful and fully stacked. Now, Goddess's Shield. Goddess's Shield makes it so whenever she's targeted by an attack, she builds a stack of Goddess's Wrath. It raises by 1 level. And then once she has 5 stacks of Goddess's Wrath, she will start auto-nuking. She'll start using Tetradrachums. And remember, it's increasing the number of hits for every stack she has. So yeah, at 5 stacks, she'll start auto-nuking with 10-hit nukes, which is very strong. Christmas Anemone does a lot of things. I really need to do a character spotlight on her, because when I got her a while back, and I didn't quite understand what was good about her. She just has a kind of a weird kit. But now that I've played with her, I get it. She's like a 9.7 or 9.8 on GameWift. She's very well regarded. And yeah, I'll probably do a character spotlight on her at some point, especially since the next U9 fight is Fire Advantage. So yeah, the part we care about is her nuke, Roselle Wreath. It does a 3-hit. It's a 3-hit nuke and gives random buffs to allies. But when her Nemo power is fully active, it becomes a 6-hit nuke. So very similar to Athena. And then she builds Nemo power if she doesn't take damage during a turn. And when it's at 5 stacks, she will activate Roselle Wreath on the end of that turn. Very similar to Athena. So you kind of see how these tie together. Athena's also debuffing defense on her auto nuke. Anemone is buffing the team on her auto nuke. And then Kumbhira is just doing tons of damage over auto nuke. So you see how these characters all work together in a full auto comp. So Stig decided to join us. Hello, Stiggy. So, a thing to note, all these characters are spear characters, including Jita, who's a cavalier at the moment. And this is the grid I'm running for this skill damage setup. Is this an ideal fire grid? Probably not. I haven't thought about it too much, to be honest. This is just what I threw together. And it seems to work fine. If you want to see what I usually run for fire, it's this. This is getting closer to meta for fire. I think if it were meta, to be honest, it would probably be 5 Ixabas. Which is a little awkward, to be honest, because that's a lot of Ixabas. But we're running 3 Ixabas, 2 Benedias, Astral Weapon, Rise of the Beast Katana, Dark Opus Weapon, Seraphic Weapon, and then the other Rise of the Beast Magna Weapon. This is what I normally run, but we're making some slight tweaks here that might be a little weird for the skill damage version. I'm not going to talk about the Ixabas because obviously you understand why the Ixaba is there. The weird parts, which we will talk about, this is a Shumgal. This is the Proving Grounds weapon. It gives fire ally skill damage cap. Makes sense. Ultimate Spear, as mentioned, everyone on team in the front row, including Jita, is a spear character. I'm running the multi-attack rate key on this. This might be... It's not key, but... No, it is key. Yeah, this is the multi-attack rate key. It might be better something else, but this is fine for now. And then the skill damage cap up key as well. And then we're running Kumbhira's Spear, which we already talked about. It's a skill damage cap, and then big supplemental skill damage, and then small boost for fire attack. And again, I'll reiterate my question earlier. I don't think there's many there's many damage cap weapons that scale with a primal summon, or a magna summon for that matter. I'm really curious how much cap up I'm actually getting with double Agni. If anybody knows, let me know, because I'm really curious how much skill damage cap up you actually need to hit the skill damage cap up cap. It's always weird to say that with double primal, and then if I had willness, which I don't, then that as well. I'm very curious what the numbers are. I wasn't able to find them when I looked casually on the wiki. Summons. I'm running the Sun, I'm running Michael, I'm running Surtur, and I'm running Belial, and then Agni, obviously. And all these are max on cap as well. So that's the team. Let's just go beat some stuff up. I don't rightly know if this is a good idea, but I am morbidly curious how well this team does on Iwayar. Because Iwayar is kind of a fight where I'm going to be a little bit careful, actually, but you know, we're going to do it live, I guess. We're just gonna go for it. I don't know how this is gonna go. So, Scooty, Dragathract, Battering Ram. Probably should actually save that for the delay, but whatever. Miss, Reckless Abandon, Splashing Brilliance for the counter, Layering Radiance to buffer. Rackham. Save the delay there. Some Wreath. How do you say that? Felicis Fiestas? That essentially makes Cheetah sub for her Nanami and also makes Nanami take less damage. And we'll start building our stacks of Crescent Surtur. And if you want to see the charge stacks, we'll go for it. I don't know how it's going to go, because Iwayar warrants a little bit of defensive play. Got an Athena, should be fine. Also, I swapped out the graphic for Benedia for the RPG. So 20 hits, can we do that? I didn't save any of my nukes because, you know, living in the moment. So I guess we'll use the Sun summon here. We should be fine. Kumbhira's guaranteed cripple, we've got tons of echoes. Auto nukes and Kumbhira. Very nice. 25 hits, can we do that? I don't actually know. I really should have saved some stuff in retrospect, but again, doing it live. This might end badly. Yep. Well, so this is why I didn't want to run this team. Can we nuke this guy enough? Probably. Like, Quinn's gonna do 10 here. Yeah, we got this. We're just gonna fucking go for it. Assassinate this idiot. Yeah, we're just gonna go for it. We're not gonna even try to hold anything. Just blow it up. No fucks given. I love a charge attack. This is not the video you want to watch, or you want like a clean execution of Uriar. The video you watch, you just want an execution of Uriar, I guess. Okay. Yeah, stop throwing your shit at me. You know what's gonna be really awkward is when it gets below 40%, because not about that whole being careful life, we're about just going for it, but normally I would just guard at 40% until the costs were off. I kind of don't want to do that, because like, because fuck it, I guess. I probably should still do that. There's auto nuke. That's when she builds the full stacks. That was 15 million damage. 25 stacks, we can do 25 hits, we can do 25 hits. We can do 25 hits. We can get the fuck out of here. We got your stupid 25 hits. Probably. Probably. We got your 25 hits. I'll show you 25 hits. Fuck your 25 hits. Now it's fucked. Now we gonna be in pain. Look at all those sunlit stacks building. Look at that auto nuke. 20 hits. I'll show you 20 hits. Maybe. Maybe I just shield this. Maybe I just shield this. I mean, I kind of just want to go for it. Now in turns 7. Okay, okay. We're gonna shield this. I should just shield until its buffs wear off. I mean, I'm still building Sunlit Lance stacks. Well, Twayan's about to fucking Twayan. Esther's about to die, but you know that's fine. Because this boss is about to die. Because we will avenge Tian. We will avenge Esther. Just like the YOLO ER version. Alright, come on out, Alanon. Have a 15 million damage nuke. Have a almost 4 million damage nuke. Have another 2 million damage nuke. Get nuked, you piece of shit. Dragon's Nest. Oh, we'll see about that. We'll see about that. This could really fucking hurt. But I'm just gonna go for it. We're gonna go for it. It'll be fine. I should probably guard this, but you know, fuck it. Yeah, fuck your Dragon's Nest. You didn't even kill an enemy. Please finish him off. I should have definitely guarded that. Meteor Feather? Fuck your Meteor Feather. Pathetic. Get auto nuked. Oh. Oh, you're approaching me. Nice clean run, guys. Nice clean run. That's how you do UER. Yep. Give me your beak. No beak. Oh wait, this is the single player version. Alright, alright. Let's do a different fight, a little bit cleaner. Okay, I want to make a small tweak. That was fine, obviously. But I want to actually drop the Shumgal. Because I think we have enough skill damage. Like, we'll lose a little bit of skill damage cap like this, I think, but... Okay, I kind of want a Benetti in here instead. Yeah, that should be fine. So, let's jump in and do a longer fight. So... Maybe a more controlled fight. Actually, here... We'll just do the one that would not that one. This one. We'll do Grimnir. And we're gonna do it full auto. Because, I mean, that's kind of the point of this team. It's a full auto team. And it will let you see, like... It'll let you see the benefits of being a full auto team. I'm gonna do a little bit of setup first, though. I'm gonna go ahead and activate 3 and summon Surtur once. Now we'll do full auto on it. And then just... have at it. Also adjusted my audios. If I was slightly quiet on the last one, apologies. Or rather, if the game was slightly loud on the last one, apologies. But yeah, full auto comps, I don't talk about them a lot. But, like, they're very popular, and, like, a lot of, like, they're legitimately important, because, frankly, there's a lot of fights you just don't want to pay attention for. And there's a lot of characters that work very well in them, in that they are almost as effective as they would be if you were actually thinking about every turn. So, Kumbhira is kind of one of those characters. Also, I've been framing her as a skill damage character. She's hitting very hard. She's hitting for like 1.4 million per hit, and she's guaranteed triple every turn. And then she's auto-nuking. Like, she's doing quite a lot of damage. Don't want the skill damage portion to seem like it's the only part of the kit that you care about, because it's not. How dare you? How dare you make me bleed my own blood? Her charge shot is so cute. It's so extra. It's got so much going on. Like, I feel like some of the newer charge attacks are just so much cooler than the old charge attacks. But yeah, full auto also means it's gonna be chats with Jessica, your favorite time and my favorite time. I haven't been doing a lot of Granblue stuff lately, because, well, I was kind of trying to take a little bit of a break after United Fight, because after United Fight, I release... During United Fight, it's like a video every day, because, like, you know, I want something for each of the rounds, but after United Fight, I try to chill out a little bit. Also, I got back in Genshin Impact, as you've seen, likely on the channel, and Inazuma is out, and that's been a lot of fun. The Raiden Shogun, Mei, from Honkai 3rd Impact, is coming to Genshin very soon. Imminently. I think next month. And I'm super hyped, because Mei is one of my favorite characters in any, like, fictional property. Huge, edgy, lightning lesbian. I love her. But, yeah, so, we're playing Genshin. But also I got back into Arknights, because I keep on saying I don't want to get into too many gacha games, and then again back into all of them, so... Well, what are you gonna do? But yeah, Arknights is, like, half-year anniversary or something, so, like, there's new stuff there, and limiteds, and, like, free stuff, and banners, and events. And then I got back to Fate Grand Order, because I'm getting back into all the fucking things. How dare you, Grimnir? Athena's not looking too healthy right now, I gotta say. We'll see how this lasts. It's full auto, I don't want to intervene. But, what was I gonna say? Alright, back in the Fate Grand Order, because it's their anniversary too! It's all the anniversaries. They added a new, really good 5-star servant. Like, really good, top tier, up there with, like, Merlin, Scotty, Castoria, Waver, all of them, up with that level of support, called, what's her name? Kayanskaya of Light? Fucking Assassin Tomomo, basically. She's great. She's really great. So I'm gonna play that as well. Oh, playing all things. Full out, leaving on full out is so weird. Feels like I'm just... might as well just go make a coffee or something. But instead, we will chat. We will chat. Actually, let's take a second. So Athena is nuking for about 4.3 mil. Nemi is nuking for 4 mil. Kumbhira is nuking for 1.7 mil. Athena's lowering def. Nemi's buffing every time she does that. Kumbhira's healing every time she does that. And Kumbhira's also building towards, like, a huge nuke. Athena's gonna fucking die. I can't intervene. There's Kumbhira's nuke, 14 mil. 4.5 mil from Athena. Nenemy's 4 mil. I really should heal Athena, but I'm not going to intervene. I guess you could Palladium there. I never watched my characters full auto before, and it's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Is there a 50% trigger? If there is, then Athena's Palladium is actually perfect. She's like... planned. All according to plan. All according to Keikaku. Is there a 50% trigger? Like, did that just perfectly work out? I've never watched the full auto. The full auto is kind of impressive, actually. Is there a 50% trigger? Athena's still being alive is also very impressive. No, there's not a 50% trigger. Unless that spear stab was something. I don't think it was. She hits so hard. Get countered. Get auto nuke for 4 mil. Get auto nuke for 1.6 mil. Get nuked. Get all the things. Have a rocket. Propel grenade. Have a surfboard. I will be stunned if Athena lives to the end of this. She's holding on by it for dear life. Oh, this is probably the end of Athena. Oh, it's not. She counters for 4.6. Nenemy for another 4 mil. Oh, all of the auto nukes. I feel like we're watching this happen together on full auto. I really should do a spotlight on Christmas Nenemy. Christmas Nenemy's just so good. She's just so good. Probably do a character spotlight on all these characters, because Athena's also really good. Wait, what buff did I just use there? I don't rightly know. Let's see. Hi, what's wrong? You wanna come watch the full autos? You wanna watch the full autos? Sticky, come up here. Baby. Yeah, here, little baby, come up here. Here, I put a pillow up here. Yes, hello. Hello, Stig. Come here. Hi, Stig. Hi, Stig. Hello, can you come sit down, please? Yeah. There's a good... Yep. Hi. 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 Hello. Yes, hello, come here. Stiggy, come sit. Okay. Loves cat. Loves cat. Oh, by the way, I am gonna be... So I have a surgery on the 24th of this month. And I'm not gonna be able to record videos probably for a couple weeks after. So I will disappear probably between the end of this month and like the middle of September. So just letting people know in case they're wondering where I am. I feel like I have to let people know in case they're like, oh, is the channel dead? It's like, no, I'm just, you know, I'm busy with things. I'll still be around. I might pre-record content, I don't know yet. Anyways, full auto's been working out pretty well. But yeah, when people say full auto comp, this is what they mean. Because this team essentially functions almost just as well on full auto. And it's because of this kind of stuff. Like all the auto nukes. The fact that all their skills essentially operate fine on full auto. Can we get I don't think we can get another one of her fully charged Sunlit Lance attacks off. Get him. Get him. Get him. Can we get another fully charged? I don't think so. I think it's gonna die to autos. Oh, maybe. No, I think it's dead this turn. Maybe? I don't think it's gonna live to the next fully charged auto nuke. Oh no, did Athena finally die? How dare you? Avenge her. Kumbhira. Kumbhira's like, fuck you. Kumbhira's like, how? No, Athena! Kumbhira totally, like, just went, like, She totally went berserk mode to avenge Athena. Did you guys see that? I cannot get over Kumbhira going Ultra Instinct to avenge the fallen Athena. That was awesome. But yeah, conclusions. I'm going to start giving character rankings in these videos. I've been hesitant to do that in the past, I think I mentioned before, because sites like GameWiff or Kamagame exist, and they give character rankings, and I largely agree with those rankings. That's why I reference them very often during the video. And I didn't think it would be valuable to give my own rankings because of that, but then it occurred to me the other day, a lot of folks that view the channel don't necessarily read those sites. So yeah, maybe the ranking is valuable for you within the context of my own views. So yeah, I'm gonna start doing that. I'll probably also go back at some point and update older videos, like re-upload older, re-record older character spotlights and include a ranking. And also some of those character spotlights, it just need to be updated in general since the meta's changed a little bit. So yeah, that'll be a thing for eventually. But yeah, we're gonna go C as the worst rank. So if a character is C rank, that means they're just a bad character. Like there's not a niche that they fill that they're any good at, and they're just generally bad at everything. Just not a very good character. B tier will mean that they are okay at a lot of things, or they do something pretty well, but they're not the best in it. A tier is going to be a lot of characters. That means they're good at for general use, like there's nothing wrong with them, or they're very good at one specific niche. I don't know why I'm doing fingers. Like what the fingers mean? They don't correlate with letters. But we'll continue. S tier means that they are very good at pretty much everything, or they are the best at one specific thing. So I guess a character that would be S tier is someone like Granblue, because like she's generally good for a lot of fights, but her thing is difficult fights as a light character. Like for difficult content, Granblue is very often on most people's teams because she is so good at mitigating some really difficult mechanics on fights. So like she'd be an example of an S tier character. Double S tier character means a meta defining character for that element. What I mean by that is a character that really you're going to struggle in that element without, or you're just going to straight up not be able to play popular meta builds in that element without. The classic example here of a double S tier character is Grand Zoe. Or not Grand Zoe. Well, yeah, no, Grand Zoe. Originally Swimsuit Zoe, Summer Zoe. But Swimsuit Zoe is what enables Enmity Dark to be what it is. Without a Summer Zoe, you're going to really have trouble playing Enmity Dark as well as somebody who does have a Summer Zoe. Like, Summer Zoe is extremely important for Enmity Dark. Enmity Dark is, has been, and probably likely will be for quite some time, if not forever, the best Dark build. So yeah, Summer Zoe is super important. Similar vein, Grand Nihan really enables Light to compete in a way that Light could not compete in before. Like it makes Light a legitimately good racing element, legitimately a lot of damage, just by like Grand Nihan makes Light significantly better overall than it was before. Different character, in that she's not an enabler like those other two. Grand Normaya, I would probably say is double S tier character. Like she's really good at generally for almost any fight, but she is so overwhelmingly good at being a damaging character that like I think she probably deserves double S tier. Similarly, Holiday Narmaya, two of the Narmayas are going to be double S tier, I guess. Holiday Narmaya, very much same reason as Grand Narmaya. You saw lots of Holiday Narmaya if you were looking at the rankings for like NM100, NM150 in the latest United fight. And I would say very similar she's very similar to Grand Narmaya, but she's actually a little bit more versatile in that her sub is very effective at just neutralizing certain mechanics. Again, as you saw, if you watch any of my like NM100, NM150 stuff in the United fight. And both of them extremely broken in a tag team luchador setup, which is kind of traditionally one of the most damaging setups you can use. So yeah, those are double S tier characters. But what's Kumbhira rank? So I'm gonna rate characters along 3 vectors, because I think there's 3 areas where you care about when you're looking at a character. First one's how well they do in quick fights, 1 turn kill to tops maybe 5 turn fights, relatively fast fights. How well they do in full auto, because a lot of a lot of content people do in full auto. Like a lot of farming folks would just leave it on full auto, so that's pretty important. And then how well they do in high difficulty content, like really hard fights. Because there's a lot of characters whose kits are very effective or just straight out necessary to have to neutralize certain mechanics on specific very hard fights. But those characters often aren't ones that you want to take to everyday content, like just general farming and whatnot. So I'll give rankings in those three cases, and then I'll give the overall ranking for a character. So quick fights, where would I rate Kumbhira? If C is worse and double S is best, I would put her at probably S. She's really good for quick fights in that she hits very, very, very hard with just her 3-up. And she will do her auto nuke with just her 3-up. I wouldn't say that she is double S tier because her full kit takes a while to get going. She does the most damage when she has full Sunlit Lance stacks, and it's gonna take a while to get there. Also, I say she's S tier because she has guaranteed triple. Honestly, characters that have guaranteed triple are inevitably going to have some place in quick kill comps, whether they be lucha setups or whatever. So yeah, she's not the best in quick fights, but she's pretty good. Full auto, I think it's obvious she's double S tier there. Like, she is exactly what you want from a full auto character. Does a tremendous amount of damage through her auto nukes, hits tremendously hard, kind of self-sustains in a lot of ways. She's just extraordinarily good at full auto. I think we just saw why that's the case. Counters a lot of damage as well, has an echo, does everything you would want from a full auto character. For high difficulty, I would say she's B tier. Like, if C tier is worst, like, she's probably B tier in that she doesn't really bring anything that's particularly useful for a hard fight, but she is very damaging and just generally a solid character. So as opposed to a character that doesn't bring anything for a hard fight and is also not a damaging character and not a good character overall, that's a C tier character. She's at least a good character that's damaging, so she's B tier. So overall, where's that put her? I would say overall, I give her an S tier ranking. If double S is best, she's not quite there because, again, she's not like completely blowing things out of the water in a quick fight, and she's not bringing much to like hard content. She's mostly a full auto character. That's the thing she does best. So yeah, I think S tier is fair for her. But yeah, if you've liked this video, like, comment, subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff. Let me know in the comments if you agree with that ranking, this ranking system, and you think this is valuable. I'm kind of curious. If you have a Kumbhira yourself, let me know how you like her, and let me know if there's anything you think I should try out with her that I haven't thought of, because honestly, I just got her today, and I liked her, so I was like, oh yeah, let's do a video on her. But yeah, that's it for this one, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye!